today I'm trying out Snakku. Snakku is a Japanese subscription box full of artisan treats, so I got the May box and I thought it'd be fun to check it out together. First, I love that it's wrapped up. This looks like it's in a furoshiki, but it's actually made of paper. The whole pattern is a bunch of artistic representations of Mount Fuji. It does really make it feel like opening a gift. And the actual box feels super traditional Japanese. So this is the wave, and then we've got family crests on the side. So this is on the top of the box, and on the back of it we've got a lot of information, both like little bits of info about Mount Fuji and a lot of info about the snacks we'll be getting. So opening up the box, immediately I'm noticing two things. One, the items are fairly large, and two, there's a lot of doubles. Yeah, it means there's fewer items, but I like being able to share. So first we have the mochi soy senbei. They don't list the maker on here in English. If you're new to senbei, they are usually a type of rice cracker that's been fried and glazed in some kind of soy-based sauce. Also, this one's massive. This smells of soy sauce, but also lightly sweet. Cheers. With the mochi, I was expecting some chewiness to this, and instead it's a very dense, hearty senbei. It's still got that awesome crunch, and it's got a very light soy flavor and a bit of a sweetness. It's really just a good snacking senbei. Can't complain. This will be gone by the time I finish editing. Next, we have Calbee brand's Jollibee soy butter, which look like little french fries. They're really cute. This is something that I can probably pick up at a Wajimaya, to be honest. Cheers. This is not for me. There's a really lovely potatoey crunch from them. The problem is the flavoring. So first it opens into soy and a pretty strong soy flavor, and that works. The problem is the butter that comes after it, because it's really buttery with soy and potato, and I like soy and potato and butter together. Just this combo. The butter flavor is too sharp and the soy is getting lost in it. I think if it had miso, it would help. Next we have Poteko from Tohato brand. They're really popular for their caramel corn poofs. They're little potato rings. They're cute. Cheers. These are just flavored with salt, and they really remind me of a hearty Pringle. Unlike a potato chip where you'll have some variations in texture where parts of the potato puff out, this is just one uniform texture and it's just a dense crunch and a fair bit of salt flavor that works really well here. It's potatoes and salt, you can't go wrong. So next we have a rusk, or a goûter de roi, which is going to be a dried sweetened bread. They're really popular in tea, and it's not actually on this little note here. It looks like a little dried slice of baguette, and it's got a fair bit of sugar and a lovely sweet buttery smell. Cheers. I'm kind of liking this plain. It tastes like dried, crunchy, buttered toast. There's a buttery sweetness to it, a little bit of extra sweetness from the crunchy sugar, and there's a nice light crispiness to the bread. Like if you like your toast a bit on the crunchy side, you probably should try this one. So this is the Fuji Chocolate Strawberry Crunch, and while it looks really cute on the picture, it does contain freeze-dried strawberries, so I will be skipping this one. But it sounds great. It's got freeze-dried strawberries and custard and chocolate all in there. Next we have the Koshu sandwich cookie, which has cream and raisins in it. Raisins are a tough one to pull off in desserts, so I'm curious about this one. So we have two cookies here on the thicker side. They smell very buttery. We've got a pretty classic looking vanilla sandwich filling in the center, and the raisins smell like they might have alcohol. Cheers. So there is some kind of an alcohol note to the raisins, but not all of them, and I can't quite place it. It's not reminding me of brandy, and also when I tried a raisin on its own, I wasn't getting as strong of an alcohol note as I was when I was eating it together. But it is throwing off the rest of what is a very good little sandwich cookie. The cookies don't have a lot of flavor themselves. They're kind of lightly buttery, and it works really well for the fact that you're trying to highlight raisins and cream in here. And the cream filling is pretty fluffy and light in a way that reminds me more of a meringue. It's just something about the alcoholness going on here is not working. Going from raisins to grapes with the Yamanishi mascarpone cookie, and this one has musca-rich grape-infused mascarpone cream. Fancy. Whoa. So from the photo I was expecting a pretty thin layer of filling, and that is a lot of filling. It does smell buttery with a very, very light grape scent. Oh, cheers. The filling's crispy. It reminds me of eating like a white chocolate feuilletine cookie sandwich, but there's so much crispiness going on here. I'm not getting a strong grape flavor, it's more of a grape aroma at the back of the cookie, but I'm getting some nice butteriness, some tanginess from the mascarpone, and it's just really fun to eat. Yeah, my one request would be more grape flavor. Though interestingly, I got hit with a whole lot of grape flavor at the very end of eating the cookie. It's a muscat grape, there's a nice aroma and floralness to it. Where was it the whole time? That was really good. Next we have the Hakone Inoshishi. Forgive my Japanese, I'm probably garbling that. Which is a little baked manju shaped like a boar. Look how cute this is! And it's filled with white bean paste, which if you're new to white bean or beans in desserts, I highly recommend stirring with white bean. It's much sweeter and gentler than red bean is, and so I think it's the best like starting point for sure. And it is totally stuffed with white bean paste. Huh. Cheers. So you have a soft baked layer that gives away almost immediately to the white bean sweetness. A little bit bit of earthiness, a little bit of chew, but not much because it's pretty smooth white bean paste. This would be delightful with tea. My only preference is I like my manju to be a bit less stuffed to the gills with white bean. I just like tasting more of the exterior. Next we have the Aokigahara, which looks like this out of the bag. If you can see here, I don't know if I can get it still long enough. There is a little grape in there, and it smells really good. It smells like muscat grape with a lot of aroma to it. Kind of floral, kind of almost tea-like. Oh, cheers and good luck to me. So this isn't jello, this is content, which is made with agar-agar and is vegetarian. It's got a fairly lovely grape flavor, but it's not intensely sharply grape. It's just sort of like a grape aroma, kind of chilling there. My problem is it's so tiny. I would love something twice this size. And I hate to say it, one of the treats is missing the Hakone miso manju. That happens. So with all that, my favorites, then my thoughts. So my favorites were the rusk, the grape content, and the mochi senbei. The rusk was an unexpected delight. I think it was a replacement for the manju that's missing, and it worked really well. I think I'd really enjoy that with tea or just on its own as a fun little crunchy toast treat. The content was refreshing and delicate with a lovely grape flavor and something I would totally love with tea as well. And I just love a good senbei, and that was an excellent, not so little senbei. My thoughts though, as of right now, I sadly can't recommend Snakku. It's not an issue of quality, it's quantity. I actually think they're going for something cool here. They're kind of an in-between of Okashi crate and Sakurako and Boxu. So some fancier artisanal stuff and some simpler Dagashi grocery store items. It means that if you're sharing with friends and there's someone who's not as adventurous, they have some options. Or maybe some kids are joining your tea party and they can try something. I'm all for everyone trying treats that are the right type for them. The problem is the quantity. At $54.95 with free shipping, it needs to be a lot more stuff or a lot more quality stuff, because otherwise I could probably get most of this for under $30 at a Wajimaya right now. And a lot more of it at that. That doesn't mean I think there's no room for Boxu. I think if they can continue with what they're doing and offer more items or reduce the price, they're onto something. Hey peeps, Editor Jess here with 3 points to add to the video, and the last one will have a trigger warning. Yes, I'm serious. First, it was really hard to find any information on the makers. The info you see on each item when I'm introducing it was figured out by me and Roxanne. Thank you, Roxanne, for helping me so much with that, because it's not posted on Snakku's website or their social media, and in most cases it's not even on the items themselves. And in a few cases, like the Musk Rich Cookie and the Fuji Chocolate, I was only able to track things down to the reseller YM Company. Given that the point of this kind of box is to highlight artisan sellers, I'm surprised I couldn't find the information more easily. Number 2, yes, the raisins were soaked in alcohol. I still don't know what kind. I found that the maker uses several different alcohols, including rum and red wine. That's one I feel like should be noted somewhere because a lot of people don't want to have alcohol. Update Snakku got back to me on the alcohol and they're saying there's no alcohol in the raisins. I tried another one of the cookies and it's still tasting really boozy, so I don't know what's going on there. And number 3, we're gonna have a content warning now for death and suicide mention. I'll put a timestamp for when I'm done. If you noted in the beginning of the video, I blacked out one of the fun facts about Mount Fuji. That's because it's mentioning Aokigahara Forest, which is truly a very somber place. It is where many people have gone to die by suicide. The fun fact describes the forest as creepy and haunted, and since the forest has such a sad history, I would have recommended just not having 6 facts. 5 facts would have been good. I'll include some links to information on Aokigahara below, just so you can have more if you need to discuss it with your family if you receive this box. None of this changes my verdict on Snakku personally, but I think it's useful information to have if you're deciding to buy, and it's stuff that I hope that Snakku can work on in the future. With that, I'd love to hear thoughts in the comments. Have you tried Snakku? What do you think of it? If you're interested in more Japanese subscription boxes, I've got a video right here on Sakurako, and with that, I'll catch you next time. Later!